Your life as a cartel accountant. Day 1. The interview. You're 28 years old. You have a degree in accounting from Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México. You graduated with honors. You passed your CPA exam on the first try. You thought you'd work for a legitimate firm, maybe audit corporations, do taxes for wealthy clients, live a normal life. But the Mexican economy is brutal. Legitimate accounting jobs pay 8,000 pesos a month. That's about $400. You can barely afford rent. Your student loans are crushing you. Your girlfriend left you because you couldn't afford to take her anywhere nice. You're 28 and you're living with your parents. You're desperate. One day, your cousin calls you. He knows a guy who needs an accountant. The pay is good. Really good. 50,000 pesos a month to start. You ask what kind of business. Your cousin pauses. It's complicated. But the money is real. Are you interested? You know what this is. Everyone in Mexico knows. But 50,000 pesos a month is more than you'd make in 6 months at a legitimate firm. You have bills. You have debt. You have dreams of having your own place, your own life. You say yes. 2 days later, you're sitting in the back room of a restaurant in Culiacan. There are 3 men. One of them is young, maybe 35. Designer clothes, Rolex watch. He introduces himself as El Güero, the blonde. He doesn't smile. He explains the job. The organization moves product. Lots of product. Cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, fentanyl. They make millions of dollars every week. But that money is a problem. It's cash. It's dirty. It needs to be cleaned, laundered, made legitimate. That's where you come in. Your job is simple. You'll manage the money, track it, clean it, invest it, make it disappear into legitimate businesses and then reappear as clean profit. You'll create shell companies, offshore accounts, real estate investments, import-export businesses, whatever it takes to make dirty money look clean. El Güero slides a briefcase across the table. Inside is 100,000 pesos in cash, your first month's salary, plus a bonus for saying yes. He looks you in the eyes. You work for us now. You keep your mouth shut. You do your job. You'll be rich. But if you ever think about talking to the police, to the DEA, to anyone, you're dead. Your family is dead. Everyone you love is dead. Do you understand? You nod. You take the briefcase. You just became a cartel accountant. Month 1. Learning the system. Your first day. As they take you to an office building in downtown Culiacan. It looks legitimate. There's a sign outside. Grupo Empresarial del Pacifico. Pacific Business Group. Inside, it looks like any other corporate office. Computers, desks, filing cabinets. But everyone here works for the cartel. Your supervisor is a man named Raul. He's been doing this for 15 years. He's in his 50s. He looks tired. He chain smokes. He explains how the system works. The cartel makes about $200 million a month from drug sales. Most of that is in the United States. Cash, small bills, 5s, 10s, 20s. It gets smuggled back across the border in hidden compartments in trucks, cars, and buses. Once it's in Mexico, it's your problem. Your job is to take that cash and make it legitimate. The first step is structuring. You deposit the cash in small amounts across hundreds of bank accounts, never more than $10,000 at a time. Any more, and the bank has to file a report. You have a network of people who do this. Students, housewives, people who need a little extra money. They deposit the cash. You pay them a percentage. Once the money is in the banking system, you start moving it. Wire transfers to shell companies in Panama, the Cayman Islands, Hong Kong. Companies that exist only on paper. You create fake invoices for services never rendered. You buy and sell assets that don't exist. You create a maze so complicated that no investigator could ever trace it back to the cartel. Then you invest the clean money. Real estate, luxury developments, hotels, shopping centers, car dealerships, restaurants, nightclubs. All legitimate businesses that generate legitimate income. The cartel owns hundreds of these businesses across Mexico. The profits get mixed with the drug money. Everything becomes clean. Raul shows you the books. It's beautiful in a way. A perfect system. Every transaction documented. Every dollar accounted for. It's like a massive, multi-billion-dollar corporation. Except this corporation kills people. You go home that night and you count the money in the briefcase. 100,000 pesos. More than you've ever had at one time. You think about quitting, walking away. But you already spent 20,000 on rent for a new apartment. And El Guero's words echo in your mind. If you ever think about talking, you're dead. You're trapped, and you know it. Year 1. The money never stops. You've been doing this for a year now. You're good at it. Really good. You've laundered over $50 million. You've created 30 shell companies. You've purchased 12 properties across Mexico and the United States. You've opened accounts in 6 different countries. The organization loves you. Your salary has increased. You're making 150,000 pesos a month now. You have a nice apartment, a new car, a girlfriend who thinks you work for a successful import-export company. You take vacations. You wear expensive clothes. Your parents are proud of you. They think you finally made it. But the stress is killing you. You don't sleep well. Every time your phone rings, you think it's the police. Every time you see a black SUV, you think it's the cartel coming to kill you because you made a mistake. You've lost 15 pounds. You're developing an ulcer, and the money never stops. Every week, there's more cash, more products sold, more money to clean. You're managing 40 people now, a whole team of money launderers, accountants, lawyers, financial advisors, all working for the cartel, all trapped like you. You've seen what happens to people who make mistakes. 3 months ago, one of the accountants in your department got sloppy. He deposited too much money in one account. It triggered an investigation. The bank froze the account. $2 million disappeared into law enforcement custody. They found his body a week later, in pieces. A message to everyone else. Don't make mistakes. You think about the legitimate accountants you went to school with. They're making their 8,000 pesos a month. They're struggling, but they sleep at night. They're not looking over their shoulders. They're not helping a criminal organization that kills thousands of people every year, but you're making 150,000 pesos a month, and you've gone too far to turn back. Year 2. The FBI knows your name. You're in a meeting with El Guero and the other top accountants. There are 8 of you. You manage all the cartel's finances, billions of dollars. El Guero looks serious, more serious than usual. The DEA and FBI have been making progress. They've arrested 3 of the cartel's money launderers in the United States. They've frozen $50 million in accounts across 4 countries. And they have a list of names, accountants, lawyers, financiers, people who work for the cartel. Your name is on that list. El Guero explains that the Americans are building RICO cases, racketeering, money laundering, conspiracy. They're going after everyone, not just the drug dealers and assassins. They want the money people, because without the money people, the cartel can't function. You feel your stomach drop. You knew this was a risk, but hearing it confirmed is different. The FBI has your name. They have evidence, financial records, wire transfers, shell companies with your name on the paperwork. If you ever step foot in the United States, you'll be arrested. El Guero tells you not to worry. The cartel has lawyers, good lawyers, expensive lawyers, and most importantly, the cartel has influence, judges on payroll, police who look the other way, politicians who take bribes. As long as you stay in Mexico, you're safe. But you're not safe. You know that. The Mexican government is under pressure from the United States to crack down on money laundering. They've been making arrests, seizing assets, and the Americans have extradition treaties. If the Mexican authorities arrest you, they can send you to the United States, to a federal prison, for 20 years or more. You go home that night and you lie awake. You think about running, taking your money and disappearing. Mexico City, South America, Europe. Somewhere the cartel can't find you. But you know that's impossible. The cartel has connections everywhere. They've tracked down people in witness protection. They've killed informants in foreign countries. There's no running from them. You're 30 years old, and you've lost control of your life. Year 3. The pressure builds. The stress is unbearable now. You're managing $200 million a month. The cartel has expanded. They're moving more product than ever. Fentanyl especially. It's cheap to produce and incredibly profitable. The American opioid crisis is making the cartel richer than it's ever been. But with more money comes more scrutiny. The DEA has a task force specifically targeting the cartel's financial network. They've seized $300 million in the past year. They've arrested 20 people connected to the money laundering operation. 2 of them were people you worked with directly, and they're getting closer to you. You know this because one of the cartel's lawyers told you. The DEA has your financial records. They know about the shell companies. They know about the real estate purchases. They know about the offshore accounts. They're building a case. It's only a matter of time. You've developed a drinking problem. You go through a bottle of whiskey every few days. You're taking pills to sleep. And Xanax. Sometimes you take too many just to stop thinking. Your girlfriend left you because you were never present. You were always stressed, always paranoid, always looking over your shoulder. Your parents ask if you're okay. You lie and say work is just stressful. They don't know what you really do. They can never know. Because if they knew, they'd be in danger too. The cartel doesn't allow loose ends. You think about the money. You have millions of pesos saved. In cash, in offshore accounts, in assets. You're rich on paper, but you can't enjoy any of it. You can't travel to most countries because of the warrant. You can't make big purchases without drawing attention. You can't live a normal life. You're a prisoner, and your cage is made of money. Year 4. The arrest. It happens on a Tuesday morning. You're having breakfast in your apartment when you hear the noise. Helicopters, sirens, shouting. You look out the window and see them. Mexican Marines, at least 50 of them, surrounding your building. You know this is it. They're coming for you. You think about the gun in your nightstand. You could shoot yourself. End it now. But you're not brave enough. So you just sit there and wait. They break down your door. Rifles pointed at your face, shouting at you to get on the ground. You comply. They cuff you. They read you your rights. Money laundering, organized crime, conspiracy. You're being arrested by the Mexican government, and they're going to extradite you to the United States. The Americans have finally built their case. 200 pages of evidence, financial records, wire transfers, testimony from cooperating witnesses. People you worked with who flipped to save themselves. You're facing 30 years in a federal prison. They take you to a detention center. You're processed, fingerprinted, photographed. You're given an orange jumpsuit. You're locked in a cell with 15 other men. The cell smells like sweat and urine. This is your life now. Your lawyer visits. He's expensive. The cartel is paying for him. He explains that the evidence is overwhelming. The best he can do is negotiate a plea deal. Maybe 15 years instead of 30 if you cooperate. If you testify against the cartel. But you can't cooperate, because the cartel has people in prison. If you testify, you're dead, stabbed in the shower, poisoned in the cafeteria. It doesn't matter that you're in custody. The cartel can reach you anywhere. So you refuse. You'll take your chances at trial. You'll probably lose, but at least you'll be alive. In prison, but alive. Year 5. Maximum security. You lost at trial. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. The judge sentenced you to 25 years in a United States federal prison. You were extradited to ADX Florence in Colorado. Supermax, the worst prison in America. You're locked in a cell 23 hours a day. The cell is 7 feet by 12 feet. Concrete walls, a metal bed, a toilet, a small desk, 1 window. It's 4 inches wide. You can see a tiny sliver of sky. You have 1 hour of recreation per day, in a concrete cage, alone, no human contact, no programs, no visitors. Your family can't afford to travel to Colorado. You're completely isolated. You think about your life, about the choices you made. You were 28 years old when you took that job. You were desperate. You needed money. You thought you could do it for a few years, save up, and get out. But there was no getting out. The cartel doesn't let people retire. Once you're in forever. Blood in, blood out. Just like the gang members, just like the sicarios. You were just a number on a spreadsheet, a tool, Disposable. You think about all the money you laundered. $200 million a month. Over $4 billion in the time you worked for them. That money paid for the drugs that killed thousands of people. Americans struggling with addiction. Families destroyed. Communities devastated. You didn't pull the trigger. You didn't sell the drugs. But you made it possible. You're 33 years old. You'll be 58 when you get out, if you survive that long. But you probably won't. Prison is dangerous, especially for people connected to cartels. There are rival organizations inside, people with grudges, people looking to make a name for themselves. You sit in your cell and you stare at that 4-inch window. You watch the sky change colors, dawn to dusk, day after day, year after year. This is your life now. This is what you traded your freedom for. Money you'll never spend. A life you'll never live. The end. The cycle continues. Somewhere in Mexico City, a 28-year-old accountant just graduated. He's looking for work. The economy is brutal. Legitimate jobs don't pay enough. He has debt. He has bills. He has dreams of a better life. His cousin calls him. He knows someone who needs an accountant. The pay is good, really good. 50,000 pesos a month. The young man hesitates. He's heard the stories. He knows what this means. But he looks at his empty bank account. He thinks about his student loans. He thinks about his future. He says yes. And the cycle continues.